Here to explain the events occurred on Friday the 13th, 1307. First of all, we want to explain the meaning of the famous day Friday the 13th, a day it's supposed to be an unlucky day. Let's begin with the number 13. In numerology, 12 is considered the number of completeness because there are 12 months, 12 hours on the clock, 12 zodiac signs, 12 years of the Chinese Buddhist cycle. But 13 is considered irregular, an incomplete number. The number 13 represented death to the Egyptians. There's a superstition in Christianity and Norse mythology that having 13 people seated at a table results in death of one of the diners. It's not known why people consider this day so evil, but in history it has happened quite a lot of disasters.
Now, what really means Friday the 13th? What happened that day, it was that the Knight Templars were arrested and killed. It was a barbaric act committed by the king and the pope, which was unfairly committed, and we are against it. The Templars, because of his numerous expeditions and conquests of Western Europe, they acquired a lot of money, and they became a bank. King Philip borrowed money from the Templars to finance a war with England, but England defeated France, leaving the country in poverty. Also, he had a debt with the Templars, and he didn't have the money to pay them back, but also didn't want to pay them. Meanwhile, Pope Clement V was feeling that the Templars had a lot of power, and he didn't like that. He ate the king and came up with a plan to accuse the knights of heretics, blasphemy, and sodomy. On Friday the 13th, the knights were in prison.
They were tortured and they confessed their crimes. Many were killed when they refused to confess. The king didn't have any proof of such acts, but he still charged them, even though they were innocent. The Templars were burned at the stake in front of the Notre Dame. The Grand Master, the leader, was burned at the stake even though he denied his confession. The king took the Templars' money and dismissed his debt. The king needed the money and he got it, yet some Templars that were able to escape hid some treasure from the king. In 1314, the Pope died, and months later the king died too. In 2007, they found proof that the Templars were accused falsely and the Vatican apologized. As you can see, the events happened were abomination, and it caused plenty of damage that nowadays they had to make an international pardon from the atrocities of that day. Basically, an economic political issue became one of the biggest massacres in the world, and we totally are against these tragic events.